Welcome back to Elevated Lifestyle TV. Remember, our goal is to encourage you to live empowered every day. I'd like to welcome back a special guest who is a business and brand strategist. He gave a lot of valuable insight in our last interview. If you haven't seen the last interview with Sean, please make sure you do so. Today, I wanted to speak with you about the system or the technique you came up with as far as the habits of happiness.
Yeah.
Could you walk us through that and explain that to me?
Yeah. I think that's a great question, by the way. Thanks for asking. I think we sometimes forget to ask what makes us happy, right? I think everybody has their own definition of happiness. But for me, the way I define happiness is you're living to your true self and your true ability, right? You're not regretting anything. You're just living and just being true to who you are. So one of the things I was able to do that is there's 3 things you can actually do on a daily basis that will actually gain a lot more happiness. And remember, happiness is within you. It's not something you want to go after. It's not something like, oh, if I get this, I'll be happy. No, happiness is already within you. You just got to tap into it, right? So one of the first things you want to do is when you wake up, you want to actually wake up 2 hours before you actually go to work. There's something about waking up before everybody else wakes up. I wake up at 4 a.m. and it's one of the most blissful, amazing feelings you can ever have, because you ground yourself. You have the whole city to yourself. Not many people up at that time, and you learn to just kind of trust yourself and in silence. Okay, that's 1. 2, I would say get into a meditation state. Learn to meditate for 20 to 30 minutes. There's some really great meditations on YouTube. One thing I actually started doing was Headspace. Headspace app has a lot of great meditations. And the last thing is workout. You got to move your body to feel good. So it's just, you got to, that saying that treat your body like a temple.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to treat it like that. So it's like you're a machine. Before you get started within the day, you want to do those 3 things on a daily basis.
Okay. So how do you incorporate mindset change in that? Because I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people are not even capable of waking up at 4 o'clock. They're still, they want to sleep in to 12 o'clock and then they wonder why they're in the situation that they're in. So how do you get a person to actually change their mindset and know that this system or this technique that you came up with will actually work for them?
Yeah, it's great. So it's going back to taking small steps. So if you're waking up at 12, let's set a goal to wake up at 11:30 or 11 a.m.
Okay.
It's just, you have to, like I said, you really want to celebrate those small wins, right? You can't wake up at 12 p.m. and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I want to wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. You're only going to fail yourself, right? So you want to build it. The habits are built in small bit sizes. So you want to make sure you build it in small habits. So instead of doing maybe 20 minutes of meditation, do 5 minutes. Just sit still with your thoughts, right? Just whatever it takes, just learn to ground yourself, learn to appreciate, learn to be grateful, because that's really what's going to trigger you to be happy.
How important do you think that how important is exercise to you as far as changing your mindset to be able to do these things?
Everything. It changes everything. Like, if you understand the concept of like you're not your body or your mind, you learn to live in a vessel, right? I mean, this is very deep thinking, but fitness really allows you to just be courageous, gives you confidence. And when you like sweat, there's something about when you sweat, when you push your body to a certain limit, you gain this confidence where you carry throughout the day. And that sometimes is true happiness. And it's not even like achieving the goal, the result, but it's just the fact of you working out and just feeling a little bit of sweat is happiness.
Yeah, taking that extra step. I believe when you physically work out, you're actually working out your brain.
Yeah.
And so by you working out your brain and and gaining all that strength in your brain, that's where you can start changing your mindset.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
so how important do you think it is to incorporate these three habits of happiness in our life every day?
It changes the game. It changes the way you perform on a daily basis. The biggest advantage you have is emotional intelligence, that when you do these things, you're able to be at a higher emotional state. So if things go wrong, guess what? It doesn't bother you because you're grounded. You know who you are. So that's why it's important, because at the end of the day or during the day, you don't feel frustrated. You don't feel annoyed by your coworkers, or if your kids running around, you're not feeling like annoyed or frustrated. You just learn to really ground yourself. It's okay to be human, but it's better to just ground yourself rather than just losing with all these negative emotions.
You're saying that people should be intentional.
Yeah.
They should be intentional.
There's a huge, it's not really a concept. I would say there's a huge advantage when you're intentional with what you do. You just learn to get into this flow state, and you learn to achieve things flawlessly. Like things become easy, and you learn to do less and have more. And it's such a great way to live life.
I like how you put that. See, what I heard was you should work, either you work hard now so you can live an easier life later.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
I know I already asked you how important was it to incorporate these three habits, but how important is it to be consistent? Because I find myself being inconsistent, and then I have to suffer the consequences later. Like as far as, when I wake up, normally I do a ritual. I'll probably read a chapter a day, and then I'll meditate. But I know once I'm off balance, because I have to worry about business, it's kind of hard to be consistent.
So consistency is it's a very strange word, right? This is like the way we achieve results, the way we get things done is literally through consistency, right? So when you're, the best way I can explain this, have a contingency plan, meaning when you fall off, when you have busy days, you have something that you can go back and quickly get into that state. Right? So maybe, instead of doing a 20-minute, you're doing a 10-minute quick meditation. Maybe reading a full chapter, maybe just reading one page. And just like have a backup plan. And also just know that if you're not consistent, if you fall off, it's okay. Don't punish yourself. Because guess what? Tomorrow is a new day, right? And you just pick yourself up and you continue on. In business, right, we always talk about having a contingency plan, meaning if things go wrong, absolutely haywire, what would you do? Have that plan when you travel, when you wake up late, when you get busy. Just have those things in place so you can fall back on. Basically,
don't feel like you have to do everything in the exact order. So if you don't have time to, like you said, do a 20-minute meditation like you normally do, just make sure you get 5 or 10 minutes in. Or if you don't have time to read that full chapter, go ahead and make sure you just read a page, and that will keep you balanced.
So you got to ask yourself, right? This is a great question I can ask you. Why do you do those things? Why do you do the chapter reading? Why do you do the meditation? Why do you think we do that?
I do it so I can have balance and so I can live my life at ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also triggering a certain emotion, right? Because balance is nothing but happiness, joy, peace, right?
Yeah.
You're learning to trigger a emotion. So in other words, if you learn to change your state, you're going after a state, meaning you're trying to change the way you feel and think about things. So if you can't do those things, do something that will get you to that state of mind.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Makes sense? Because at the end of the day, we're doing all these things, right? The working out, the meditation, the reading, the listening to the audio, waking up early. It's all because we want to just get ourselves grounded. We want to get ourselves feeling peaceful. We want to feel balance. It's all a state.
Yeah.
You can't do those things. Do something that will get you to your state. Maybe walking outside first thing in the morning. That will get you will get all that done by just walking outside first thing in the morning.
Wow. Okay.
So something to think about.
Thank you, Sean. I'm definitely going to incorporate those 3 habits of happiness in my playbook. Tell me, did Sean's 3 habits of happiness resonate with you? Could you use this in your everyday routine? I love to hear what you think. Please comment below. I'm Lady Anwar. Until next time, family.